Mm. The sport sponsored by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Big trade in the NFL today. Jalen Waddle is on his way from the Miami Dolphins to the Denver Broncos for a first-round pick, a third-round pick, and a fourth-round pick in the WBC tonight. USA versus Venezuela. Eduardo Rodriguez, the left-hander, is going for Venezuela, while Nolan McLean will be taking the ball for the U.S. Choosing the right home service company isn't just about fixing what's broken. It's about trusting who's in your home. That's why homeowners count on Anderson for friendly, professional service that keeps everything running right. Visit AndersonPHA.com.
Welcome to the Fletch Zone.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
Not like other guys.
Sound off like you got a pair.
The WBC final is tonight in the shadow of South Beach. One of the Padres may hold the key for the U.S. The madness begins tonight with 2 play-in games. You can hear them right here on San Diego Sports 760 starting at 3:30. And the Lakers take down the Rockets.
Reeves alley-oop to LeBron. Spectacular alley-oop.
We react to the game. Plus, Sandy's back for more long shots.
Lakers plus 1.5 on the road. They're giving us a point, which is crazy to me. Lakers are better than Houston. Atlanta Hawks doing it for Magic City. Plus, they have a lot more length on the wings than Orlando does.
Bravo.
Minus 3.5.
There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with you at all.
We like the under on Venezuela, Italy.
It's perfect.
Gets the rest worked out. Now, live from the San Diego Sports 760 studios, we enter the Fletch Zone.
And let's get it going on a Tuesday. What's going on, everybody? Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John Schaefer is going to be taking over then. And how about we do it? How about we just do it right now? Congratulations to Sammy Long. It's a winner.
Feels fantastic. Starting the week off right. Got a long week of gambling ahead with March Madness. Very excited to hit a little 3Z.
I'll be the first to admit I doubted it. I'll be the first to admit I'm not sitting here a full winner today because I doubted the Lakers pick. But you know what? Custody battle Luka is undefeated, and the Los Angeles Lakers come through, win and only win. Luka Doncic is in a battle for parenthood. So congratulations,
38 points
Sammy.
per game, 9 rebounds per game, and 8 assists per game. Shout out to Luka coming through.
So what's the actual story? Right? Like Luka's wife, ex-wife, baby mama has the kids, and now he's just playing the best basketball of his career all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, she was suing for custody. I think they haven't been together since like December.
Excellent father.
The story kind of got, don't be ripping Luka. You don't know the story. She's over there, holding the kids, and Luka's single now. Luka's out here completely focused on basketball, and look what happens. All of a sudden, the Los Angeles Lakers beating playoff teams left and right.
Well, congratulations to everybody who followed long shots yesterday. I did get one win because I wasn't able to include the World Baseball Classic under you gave us on the full combination, but I did get that one separately. So we're all walking out with money today. Love to see it. Long shots coming up at 12:45. We'll see if we can get another one. All right, we do have some tickets to give away for you today. If you just keep listening, you get a chance to see Neo on August 18th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets and info on this event, Ticketmaster.com. 2 guests coming up. Kevin Acee is going to tell us all about Joe Musgrove and why he may be starting the season on the IL. That's at 12:30. And then Coach Quintera coming up with us at 1:30 today. Sammy and I working on a short week, so we're going to try to squeeze everybody in. Quintera today, Acee today, Steve Hartman coming up tomorrow. Short week for us because we got the NCAA tournament right here on San Diego Sports 760. In fact, starting at 3:30 today, UMBC against Howard, followed by Texas versus North Carolina State, right here on San Diego Sports 760. Your home for the NCAA tournament in San Diego, a.k.a. my favorite 4 days of the sports year. I really think it is when you put it up against pretty much anything else. The Thursday through Sunday of the first round and the second round of the NCAA tournament, nonstop action. I think the NCAA tournament does an excellent job also of making it viewable without having a TV service provider or anything. It's all just on their website. I think the NCAA tournament is as good as anybody at making sure this is all open and viewable for the public. And I cannot wait for Thursday through Sunday. We got to kind of wait our way through these 2 days of games, which I don't love, but once we get to Thursday, it's all gas, no brakes.
Well, I'm really excited because this year feels like, and again, we could be completely proven wrong in a couple weeks where all the 1 seeds are in the Final Four.
You should have heard Sammy just slamming Rachel Nichols picks before the show because she went all 1s and a 2.
When you give selections, and it's like everyone knows this, when you're in an office bracket pool, because I'm sure everyone's filling it out right now as we speak. And there's always that one person that's like, I just took 1s and 2 seeds, the Elite Eight, and then all 1s. Like we got to have some picks. We got to have some juice. Because when was the last time all 4 number 1 seeds
last year
made the NCAA tournament? They made it last year.
Last year it was Houston, Duke, Florida, Auburn.
All right, well that was a BS year. That was once in a generation.
We had this conversation a year ago, Sammy, because on the Wednesday before March Madness, you said don't be that guy that just goes and picks all the 1
Are you
going
to be that guy?
No, but if you were that guy last year, you made a lot of money.
Well, it's good because if you were in it last year and you had success doing that, you're going to do it again this year because all 1 seeds I think are vulnerable this year. Duke is in an absolutely loaded region, has 2 of their star players in Gongba and Caleb Foster who are out for a couple weeks. Michigan just lost in the Big Ten championship game. Purdue got after them. I think everyone just assumes that because Florida won last year, they're going to be right back in this picture. In Arizona, I believe, is on the side of the bracket with Nick Boyd in Wisconsin. You got Darius Acuff in Arkansas. I mean, a lot of the NBA lottery picks, and we've seen NBA lottery picks have big NCAA tournaments. Darren Peterson, Kansas, AJ DeBonsta, BYU, obviously Boozer with Duke, but Acuff with Arkansas. A lot of the NBA lottery picks besides Duke are 3, 4, and 5 seeds. So I think we're going to get a lot of parity this year, and hopefully it is because last year was very chalky and it was kind of disappointing in the first round. We didn't get any massive upsets.
Maybe this year will be different. I know it's going to be fun, and you'll hear it all right here on San Diego Sports 760.
I know who Ben's picking.
I
already know who you're going to pick.
How do you know who I'm picking?
I guarantee you're going to pick Michigan over Duke. I guarantee you that's your pick.
Duke is not making my Final Four this year. Michigan is my national championship team as of right this second. We'll see if that changes up here.
Michigan has not been playing good ball recently.
I know, but dude, watch out.
Just because they looked up on San Diego State does not mean they're winning the national championship.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the numbers bear it out. I can give you the numbers coming up in a little bit if you'd like, but Michigan is winning the national championship this year. Mark my words. All right, San Diego Sports 760. Before we get to the big three, did want to mention Sammy's Chiefs have some reasons to be shaking in their boots because their conference just got better. Jalen Waddle, ever heard of him? Stud wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. An absolute burner on the racetracks is making his way to the AFC West. Jalen Waddle joins the Denver Broncos. Now, it came with a lot of picks. The Dolphins are getting the number 30 overall pick, the 2026 third and the 2026 fourth round pick from the from the Denver Broncos are heading to the Dolphins. But this is a big move. Look, the Broncos came up a game short. They came up maybe a broken ankle short of making the Super Bowl this year, and they don't make it. But Jalen Waddle joining Bo Nix, joining Cortland Sutton, joining a pretty talented Denver team that was a game away from a Super Bowl this year. Feels like a great move to me, man. And just keeping the Chiefs down near the bottom of the AFC West. How about it?
Well, I mean, that's obviously insane, but Jalen Waddle is a good move for them. I mean, they needed a number one wide receiver. He's very talented, 27 years old, always was kind of in the shadow of Tyreek Hill. And then even Devon Achane, when he was the running back down there, was kind of the new toy for Mike McDaniel in the offense. And Jalen Waddle is talented enough to be a number one. I think if you would have asked the Buffalo Bills, if we remember at the trade deadline last year, they wouldn't give up a first round pick for Jalen Waddle. And had they had Jalen Waddle, who knows? Maybe they beat Denver on that divisional round playoff game, and maybe they're representing in the Super Bowl. Obviously, that wasn't the case. It's a good get for them because Sutton, I think, is more of a two, has had some trouble staying healthy over the years, and Waddle being the one gives them a real burner down the field. But 3 picks. I mean, you're talking about a first, a third, and a fourth. Tyreek Hill went for a second, fourth, sixth, and a 4. I mean,
yeah, but Tyreek Hill, you also had the worry of paying him after.
Right, but like
it was a trade and sign.
But Tyreek Hill is also a much better receiver at the time than he was already Jalen Waddle.
30, wasn't he, when they made the trade for him?
No, he was like 27.
I remember at the time a lot of people considered it an overpay. Like Tyreek Hill was
he's 30. He's 32 now.
Yeah, and that was like 3 years ago.
No, he's been a Dolphin for like 4 or 5. He was like 27, 28 when it happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know how math works? It's 3, 4, 5 years ago.
I believe you. I'm going to trust you because you're a Chiefs fan, but listen, I do remember at the time people considered it an overpay also.
I just think
because of the amount of money he was getting on the other side.
I'm surprised with Denver you would give 3 picks for this. I mean, not a 1, a 5, and a 6. You're giving a pick on day 1, a pick on day 2, and a early pick on day 3. Look, Jalen Waddle's a great receiver, but this just feels like kind of selling the farm. I would have been more okay with this if this was AJ Brown. If you're getting AJ Brown, you're like, that's a bona fide number one star receiver. Jalen Waddle's never been a number one guy. To give up that many picks for him feels a little desperate to me, like they're trying to compete with the Chargers and the Chiefs.
I don't know about desperate. I think it's adding to something that was already good. They're striking while the iron's hot with this window, and they still have the window. Look, I think Denver's defense maybe got a little worse over the first week and a half or so of free agency and trading in the NFL. But the offense gets better with adding Jalen Waddle, who I think is going to fit in pretty well. All right, let's get to the big three here. By the way, Tyreek Hill was 28 years old when he was traded. So,
like I said,
no, you said 27.
I said 28.
You said 27. I said 30. I was wrong.
So if it was the Price is Right, I would win.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yes, you would win. Congratulations to Sammy. Let's get to the big three here of our number one, where Sammy Long rips through the top stories in the world of sports. Sammy, smash.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
Text line is open 70470. Start your message with the word team. YouTube chat open as well at San Diego Sports 760. Would love to get a subscribe from you today. Of course, you can always listen to us on the free iHeartRadio app. And while you're listening over there, tap that little red microphone button. Leave us a talk back, 30 seconds long. Go straight to Sammy's computer in there. We can play it back live here on air. Sammy, where would you like to go?
Let's go to WBC. Obviously, exciting game tonight. U.S. looking to bring it home against Venezuela. Venezuela wins 4-2 over Italy last night. But Aaron Judge said yesterday the tournament atmosphere of the WBC is, quote, bigger and better than the World Series. Now, to me, that's crazy. That's insane. But the question is this: has the WBC galvanized casual fans? I'm curious to hear from everyone listening. 70470. Start your message with team. Is this must-watch TV tonight? Because it felt like Canada and the U.S. in the Olympics hockey was wake up, must-watch TV. The whole country was behind. I'm curious if this has the same vibe tonight.
No, it certainly is for me. Aaron Judge isn't the first person, by the way, to say something like this. Manny Machado said it earlier also, that it's the best environment he's ever played in. And I would say it's probably true for some of these Dominican Republic and Venezuela games. The fan bases have been outrageous. It's been loud. They have noisemakers going in the stadium, which, please God, Major League Baseball, do not allow vuvuzelas or whatever to be allowed inside ballparks this year. I would lose my mind. But it has been great environments, especially in person. I know my friend group is all watching. I know I will be watching tonight. This is must-watch TV for me. Is it the casual fan? I truly don't know the answer to that. It doesn't feel like it's as big of a deal as the World Series on the outside looking in. It doesn't feel like the stakes are nearly as high as a World Series or an NBA Finals or a Super Bowl, for goodness sake. But in person, live, I can tell you I'm envious of everybody who's at these ball games because the fan bases are absolutely electric.
I think it's been exciting. Now, when we hear stuff like this, that it's better than the World Series, no. Trust me, I bet New York radio's having a field day with this, especially when he didn't play well against the Dodgers a couple of years ago. But it's been fun. I think I've enjoyed it. I've been watching the games. It is cool seeing everyone's kind of countries repping.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong. Aaron Judge has never won a World Series, right?
No, and he played terrible, and that he had one of the errors in Game 5 against the Dodgers where he dropped the ball. So I can't imagine it's going over well in New York.
Neither is Manny Machado, and he said something similar.
Well, yeah, Manny Machado, I would thought that too. I'm like, he hasn't played in a World Series, so what would he know? But, I mean, this whole narrative, it's been fun. I think the hard sell has been on. We've heard this from Bryce Harper, Machado, Aaron Judge, about how great it is. I think tonight will galvanize some people. I think the casual fan will tune in tonight. I don't think, though, that this is certainly the impact the World Cup has. I don't think it's the impact that the Olympics branding comes with. If you're a diehard baseball fan like all of us, you're watching. If you're not a diehard baseball fan, you might tap into the game tonight, but I don't know if you were watching USA-Italy a week ago.
Now, why is USA pitching the same guy they pitched against Italy who gave up all the runs?
Well, because Scooble's not there and they can't throw skeins.
Scooble, soft. Our buddy Rich on YouTube saying, happy St. Patrick's Day, boys. Can't wait to watch the WBC from the bar. Sammy, are you not wearing green?
Wow. I am wearing a little green right here.
Someone's getting pinched.
You
by
pinch
Mike Usher.
If you pinch me, I will slap the... shout out to Rich. Happy St. Patrick's Day. All right, let's go to the Lakers last night. Lakers win again, 9 of 10. Take apart Houston on their home floor. They'll be playing again tomorrow night. If the Lakers win there, they'll have a tiebreaker against Houston. Big picture question, though. If LeBron were to win a title this year, is he the undeniable GOAT?
How did we go from 2 weeks ago? Can the Lakers even compete in a 7-game series?
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just asking the question.
And now they play a week of good basketball, and all of a sudden, are the Lakers going to win the championship? No, I don't think you can take that question seriously as of right now. I don't think there's any chance in a 7-game series against OKC right now that the Lakers can win. Hell, I got serious questions if it's Denver. I got serious questions if it's Houston.
Did you watch the game last night?
The Lakers are on a really good stretch of games, and they're playing some really good basketball right now, and everyone seems motivated, and LeBron is dunking and diving all over the place, and it's great to watch. It's a week of games. I'm going to pump my brakes a little bit.
Well, I don't think they're winning a title, but the question was, is LeBron going to be the undeniable GOAT? I'm a Michael guy. I think he would be if he were to win a title, especially taking a backseat to what he's done with Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. I've been very critical of LeBron, but that does take a lot. A lot of guys who still are playing at his level would not take a backseat to guys younger than him. So LeBron deserves props for that. In terms of how far can they go in the postseason, yeah, Oklahoma City and San Antonio deserve their own bracket right now. They've been the best team all season long. They played really well against the Lakers in the small sample size we've seen this year. So I can't put them over Oklahoma City. I can't put them over San Antonio. I do think the Lakers are the next best team in the West. And Houston does not have a point guard. I mean, that was embarrassing last night. They could not break a simple trap from the Lakers. And the Lakers aren't some excellent defensive team. The Nuggets are very flawed. They play zero defense. And I don't think Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves has a legit number 2. So if the Lakers can get the 3 seed and avoid Oklahoma City to potentially the Western Conference Finals, they could go on a little bit of a run. But yeah, I don't think I'm not saying title just yet.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll get to big 3, number 3 on the other side. Also, thoughts on Joe Musgrove before we chat to Kevin Acee, and then we'll have some thoughts after as well on Joe Musgrove potentially starting the season on the iHell. It is San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760. We got Kevin Acee joining us in about 10 minutes to talk some Padres and Joe Musgrove. Text line is open today, 70470. Start your message with team 858 saying you guys are sleeping on the Razorbacks. Arkansas, insanely fun team to watch. They got Hawaii in the first round, right? Hawaii Big West champions this year.
Yeah, they do. They look good in the SEC championship against Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt was really scrappy in that game.
I like Arkansas. 615 says finally the Miami Dolphins come out on the good end of a deal. This type of trade never happened under Chris Greer. 619. I've been watching every World Baseball Classic game since it started. Every game Miami and Houston is like watching Game 7 of the World Series. The caveat being the home team is not the USA. It's all the Latin teams from our buddy SoCal.
Yeah, shout out to the Dominican Republic and Venezuela for showing out.
The fan bases have been outrageous for those two teams, and Team USA's just lacked a little bit of energy.
619's calling me out. Very true. Another Sammy fact, or should I say wrong fact? Machado played in the World Series for the Dodgers in 2018. Yes. Thank you for fact checking me.
Played pretty bad in that World Series, if I remember correctly. And 858, LeBron needs 6 rings to be the GOAT, and I still got him at 3 behind Kobe and MJ till then.
Respectable. The
2020 championship, apparently not a championship to the 858, the bubble championship, because LeBron does have 4 rings technically. All right, Sammy, what was big 3, number 3 going to be?
I was going to go with college basketball. Miami, Ohio. Now they play tomorrow. Miami, Ohio is an interesting story because they go, for those who haven't followed, they're undefeated in the regular season, go 30-0. They lose in their first conference game. And people wonder if they should be in or not. They ended up barely making it in. They were the second team left in the field. Is this evidence though that they should expand the tourney? Because it's crazy that a team is 30-0 and loses 1 game and they're almost left out.
No, so I don't. Okay, couple things. Brent and I actually went deep on this the other day when I was doing some extra work for Schaefer, who was out in Vegas. But Miami of Ohio deserves to be in the tournament, and I will defend that to the last breath. However, Miami of Ohio's resume does not deserve to be in the tournament. I don't think you can keep a college basketball team out that went undefeated all the way up until their conference tournament. However, if you look at what Miami of Ohio did this year, there's a lot of 1-possession games that went their way. There's a lot of close games against not great teams that went their way at the end. And you could call it luck. You could call it a special season. You could call it a team of destiny. It's probably going to come to a fantastic end tomorrow. Miami of Ohio deserves to be there because of the year they had, but everything about the year they had would say they do not deserve to be there, if that makes sense. And unfortunately, Miami of Ohio being out of the MAC, all this means is some other conference that probably deserved more than 1 bid became a 1-bid conference. Yes, I'm looking directly at the Mountain West.
Right, but here's the thing.
The MAC got 2 bids.
Right, but the criticism, though, of college basketball has been that the regular season doesn't matter for a lot of teams. That has been a criticism of college basketball. If you're either the top of the elite, if you're Duke, Kansas, schools like that, or if you're the bottom. If you leave Miami, Ohio out for going 30-0 and losing 1 game, then you basically tell them that your entire body of work in the regular season does not mean anything.
I agree. And I agree with the fact that Miami of Ohio should be in. I do. However, it does suck that there's 2 teams out of the MAC who are in are probably both going to get blown out right away. And unfortunately, it's not. So you can make the argument better of the regular season thing for a conference like the Mountain West, which is right there. It's a mid-major, but it's right there. You got teams. I think Sammy and I were talking before the show. I don't remember if this was on air or not, but I said the top of the Mountain West is as good as the middle third of the SEC or the Big Ten. However, it doesn't get treated the same as the middle of those conferences because it's the Mountain West. So that's why there's 1 team that gets in because it gets treated more like the MAC. I don't think that the Mountain West and the MAC you can't even compare them. It's like trying to say the Mountain West and the Big West.
Right.
They're 2 different things.
You could make the argument, though, that even the middle of the Big 12 of the SEC is a stretch for the top of the Mountain West.
I think that Utah State, New Mexico, San Diego State are all good enough to be middle of the Big Ten and the SEC.
I think generally as a programs, yes. This year, it's kind of hard because San Diego State never beat a team like that.
Well, they beat up on each other.
Right, but when they played Arizona, it was the top of the Big 12. When they played Michigan, now those are elite level teams. They didn't even look like they deserved to be on the floor with them. And I'm not saying San Diego State is a big time program. I fully expect them to bounce back next year and be in the picture. It's just hard with college basketball because I keep hearing this about expand the tournament. Like, I wouldn't do that because, again, if you take this as 72,
has there ever been a seed worse than a 9 or an 8 who's even competed for a national championship?
No.
Exactly.
Well, and it's like,
what are you doing expanding the tournament past the 12 seeds that are already there if there's never been an 8 or a 9.
It's what's such a problem with college sports and college football as well is it's in the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, and the NHL, you win enough games that are tiebreakers. There's no negotiation of who is getting in the playoffs. And it's hard when you have a committee selecting and it's, Auburn has 16 losses, but one of the best resumes in the country with wins. It's so hard when it's left up to speculation. And this is why you get debates like Miami, Ohio.
Pretty big bombshell dropped yesterday by Kevin Acee that Joe Musgrove may be starting the season on the injured list. What do you know? We have Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, coming up next at San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app.
This sport is sponsored by Lowe's. Jalen Waddle on his way, newest member of the Denver Broncos. Denver sending back 3 picks to Miami, a first-round pick this year, as well as a third and a 4 in March Madness here, right here, whole tournament long on San Diego Sports 760. Coverage begins at 3:40 with UMBC and Howard. UMBC is a slight 1.5-point favorite in that one. They were the team that took down Virginia a few years ago as the 16 seed. In Texas, NC State, battle of the 11 seeds tonight. NC State is a 1.5-point favorite. That game gets going at 6:15. Spring deals are popping up early at Lowe's. Get 4 bags of SDA green 2 cubic foot mulch for just $10. Plus, save $20 on an Ego 56-volt string trimmer. Now just $199 only at Lowe's. Valid through 3/18. Mulch offers excludes Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
San Diego Sports 760 on a beautiful St. Patrick's Day. Our buddy Jay Silves on YouTube saying, top of the afternoon to you, gents. Can Sammy keep that luck riding? Long
yes,
shots.
sir, Jay Silves.
Coming up in about 15 minutes. Stay tuned. But right now we have our Padres insider, Kevin Acee, joining us from, I believe, Miami. Kevin, are you in Miami right now?
I am in Miami.
Wow. Heading to the World Baseball Classic tonight. USA, Venezuela. How's it been covering the World Baseball Classic, Kev?
It's cool. It's unlike anything else. I mean, you can get an idea by saying it's a playoff or like a World Series vibe, but the instruments, the passion that the fans have, in particular, of course, the Latin fans, and it's pretty cool.
Kevin Acee, would you be okay with vuvuzuelas and noisemakers coming into Petco Park this year?
Yes. It needs to also be accompanied by just like the knowledge of the game, the like I said, the passion, and that's just hard to replicate. Like that energy, like take it to the field. Like it was incredible and it's fun, and I do think it's encouraging what we saw, like Fernando Tatis Jr. And just the love and the joy that he was exhibiting. That is impossible to keep up over 162 games. Like I've been to the Winter Leagues in the Dominican Republic. It doesn't get crazy until they're at their like knockout rounds, like the championship portion of their season. Like that's just the level of energy here in this like single elimination is where this tournament's come now. It's just impossible to replicate.
Mason Miller, obviously been the star for Team USA down there. What can we get an update? I know Craig Stammen was in contact with the manager for the U.S. Is there going to be anything about him being a pitch count for tonight, or the Padres worried about him getting overused?
Padres are of course worried about him being overused, but they knew the schedule and they knew that, okay, well, depending on when he pitches, and here's when he probably will pitch, and then there's this possibility at the end it would be 3 games in 5 days. And it's going to depend on how Mason Miller feels. And that's still the case. From my understanding, the Padres are okay with Mason Miller doing this because Mason Miller has done this the first week of the season before. He did it last year with the A's where he pitched 3 times in 5 days. And he started his ramp up 2 weeks before he normally did. He was facing hitters back at home before spring training started. So this isn't like a surprise to anyone that now, Mason Miller is the closer of the United States team, is going to be asked to do this. It's no, that was why all the preparation to get him to this point. So Mason Miller should be good to go, but it was always going to be this closely monitored thing. And just like during the season, how does Mason Miller feel this afternoon? So we'll see. But my understanding going into it is Mason Miller has the green light from the Padres, dependent on how he feels.
Kevin Acee, Union Tribune, our Padres insider, joining us today on San Diego Sports 760, like he does every Tuesday, either at 12:30 or 1:30. Kev, kind of a bombshell. I don't know. You kind of seemed to think it was expected, but Joe Musgrove starting the season on the injured list. That is obviously a little nerve-wracking for Padre fans. What do you know about Joe Musgrove? What do you know about the arm and his recovery, and how long should we be worried this is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, it's been about a week that this was telegraphed. I mean, I started writing it almost as a definite 4 or 5 days ago. But it still was news when Craig Stammen, when the manager says, and he still couched it. But it was, look, there's just no chance that Joe Musgrove can ramp up in time. And there hasn't been once he got past a certain point where he hadn't pitched or even thrown off a mound in a week. So look, this is not like the end of the world or necessarily a 5-alarm fire, but it's also not a big deal. This was expected in terms of, having to kind of slow things down at some point. Not like it was going to be definitely happen, but hey, this very well could happen once, twice, more during the season. Well, the fact that it's coming at the beginning of the season, yeah, that's more worrisome. And in a way, only because he hasn't even been able to get his season underway. I mean, he faced Great Britain in an exhibition. And he faced hitters and live batting practice and one sim game. That we have not seen how he's going to do. We haven't seen any examples of it. And he has talked about the great thing about Joe is he's honest, as honest as he really can be. He doesn't feel right. Now, I don't mean that's he feels wrong. It's just it's all new to him. He's coming back from Tommy John for the first time ever. He's coming back from a layoff that long for a first time ever. He had gotten very comfortable pitching hurt for the previous year. So this is just all a part of it. Unfortunately, now I want to say it wasn't entirely unexpected that it's happening here in spring training and he's starting the season on the IL. That is a little bit unexpected.
I know Nick Pivetta was dealing with arm fatigue, back pitching.
Mm-hmm.
You would think, though, with the Musgrove injury, it put more pressure on Pivetta. Are they going to be careful with Pivetta early, or is it really they got to kind of lean on him and King the first couple weeks till Musgrove can get back?
I don't think there's really any difference. I think it's us, outside. And certainly that's not to say that Nick Pivetta wouldn't feel some more pressure and not be, he and Michael King wouldn't be aware, or even Randy Vasquez, throw him in there, that these guys wouldn't be aware of, oh, wow, now it's really on us. But the fact is, nothing can be different for them. Careful, yes, but no more careful than they would normally be as a pitcher, ramps up from whatever it would be opening day, 75 to 90 pitches, and then, keeps going from there. So nothing different, but I mean, you're absolutely right about it putting more of an onus on how these guys perform, because they got to fill innings, and they're a contending team. They got to fill quality innings, and you lost Joe Musgrove. So how they go about this, well, it always has to happen basically on any good team where someone's got to step up. Last year it was Nick Pivetta, right? We thought he was at best we thought he was a number 3 starter. He was a number 1 starter. There needs to be, is Walker Buehler, is this some really sort of magical comeback year for him? Is that the answer? Is it another one of the guys? Is it German Marquez? It's got to be someone, and they're gonna, got to be creative probably as well with how they use the bullpen, and so very interesting. But I think that if you have pessimism about this team, it centers on what we've been talking about the last 3 or 4 minutes, and that's the starting pitching.
Starting pitching is everything. Kevin, just so you know how the Padre fan is feeling on YouTube and on our text line right now, we have emojis of fire with alarms right after them, 5 alarms right after them, saying this is a 5-alarm fire with Joe Musgrove. Kev, before we get you out of here, of course, we're going to have to get an update on ownership situation. My God, how pissed would you be if something happened with the ownership situation and you're in Miami, Kevin? Would that be a disaster?
I mean, I guess if I'm on a plane or... yeah, I mean, in the middle of the game, but it's not going to.
Okay.
So, depending on what you mean by something happening, they're not selling today. So, I don't think that, the final bids, the process was even done until early in April. But it could, look, there, I've heard so many different things. It could end before that, but it's not happening today. And I think the thing, whenever it happens, there should be a lot of excitement, but also still, okay, so now what's this person or this group? There'll be one control person, a principal owner, but what's this group going to do? Are they going to use their money? There can be virtually no doubt they're going to have more money. They're going to be more liquid, have more capital than the current ownership group, but what will be their commitment? I know there's a lot of optimism inside of the organization, but that could partially be based on the fact that they don't have any money now. So they're like thinking, all right, cool. We're getting a new owner that's going to have money. But again, we got to wait and see what happens.
And what they do with that money might be more important. Did you get to talk to any of them, Kev? I know they were all out in Peoria, or at least 4 of them were out in Peoria last week. Did you talk to any of the potential owners?
No. It got very weird a few times. But I couldn't pick most of them out of a hat. Right. So I don't know why you picked. I guess I should have said out of a lineup. I just mixed my metaphors there. I couldn't have picked most of them out of a lineup. But it was pretty clear when they were here that that's who they were.
Interesting. And then, so it went into like a full presidential lockdown kind of.
Well, one of there was an away game. I think when some were there, they were off. The Padres were when some of them were there. And then there was a morning where, you couldn't help but notice. But here's the thing, like, not that people care about this, but like there's a lot of sponsors that are shuffled in and out during spring. But this had a different feel to it. You said, oh, okay, who are these guys? You ask questions? Oh, okay. And then, like I said, there's a lot of excitement in the organization about what this could mean because the baseball operations has been operating under some pretty stringent budget. And I've defended the Padres and how much money they've spent, and they do deserve credit for that. Obviously, Peter Seidler, but the people that followed him have had to pay the bills. But the fact is that a lot of those bills were already, those bills were already due. So, like, the baseball operations has been operating under a really tight budget for a couple years now, done a great job with it, but they sure would like a little bit more flexibility, like to maybe, get a starting pitcher.
All right, Kev, you have fun in Miami. Thank you for all the intel today. And we'll talk to you very soon.
Right on.
Kevin Acee, our Padres insider with the Union Tribune. Do we believe him?
Yeah. Kevin Acee's a very truthful guy.
We believe him that he hasn't talked to any of the potential owners?
Yeah, I believe that. Because why? If you were the Padres, the last thing you would want is a reporter getting to talk to
I agree.
each individual group who would be able to then go advocate on radio interviews and TV interviews.
Yeah, I like Dan Friedkin, like I've been saying for weeks now.
Kevin's like, Dan Friedkin bought me a beer.
Dan Friedkin is freaking awesome. I just want to have a radio segment called Freaking Weekends somewhere. I don't know if I got to pay to get on 1015 KGB.
Freaking Weekends?
Freaking Weekends. I think that's great, man. You sit down with the owner of the Padres for a few hours, talk about pods, talk about planes. He's big into like old time warplanes. I think that'd be cool. Friedkin Weekends. He's also worth $10 billion, which would be helpful too. Speaking of $10 billion, if we keep going at the rate we went last night, we're going to get there soon. Long Shots with Sammy Long coming up next, fresh off a winner on the San Diego Sports 760 free iHeartRadio app.
You know the song we play when we win?
Yes, if you had faith in Sammy last night, you're walking into work today with a little extra cash in your pockets. Congratulations. A 3-pick combo. All 3 winners. If only some of us idiots didn't listen to him or did listen to him, unlike me. Hey, today and tomorrow, we got first 4 tournament action for you right here on San Diego Sports 760. Today, 3:30, UMBC versus Howard, followed by Texas versus NC State. Tomorrow at 3:30, Prairie View A&M versus Leahy, followed by Miami of Ohio versus SMU. You're home for the NCAA tournament in San Diego Sports 760. By the way, Miami of Ohio, was it 8.5-point dogs?
Yeah, they open as 7.5-point dogs
versus Southern Methodist
tomorrow.
God, I would hammer minus 8.5.
Really? See, I don't know if I'm feeling that.
I would hammer minus 8.5. Ooh.
You realize they're basically playing a home game.
Yeah.
They're like 40 minutes away from the campus.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
You always pick road dogs in the NBA.
Yeah, and I'm good at them, but this is in the NBA.
We won once, Sammy.
Oh, please. First of all, I hit 2 or 3 every time. The text line reminded me of what happened when Ben Fletcher tried to make picks Thursday and Friday. Please, I come back with a heater, and now we're having this negative energy. You're just mad because I told you to bet the Lakers. You wouldn't listen. You were a hater, and then Kevin Durant sold you. I'm sorry. I tried to give you the correct picks.
Hey, how about this? Our buddy Past Point Comics on YouTube said, went to my first spring training game yesterday.
Yeah.
Padres versus Giants. Great atmosphere and plenty hot. Spring training is great because it's like, I always think minor league baseball games are actually more fun for the fan than going to like a major league baseball game because it's based on the fans. The only way they stay in business is if you keep showing up. Major League Baseball has TV deals, so they try a little harder, I think, on the fan experience in minor league ballparks. And it's kind of goofy, it's kind of campy, and it's a lot of fun. I feel similarly about spring training. I can't wait. I'm going to hit a couple games this weekend. Very, very excited for it. All right, Sammy, it's time for long shots. Big winner yesterday. See if we can smash another one today. With that being said, smash it.
You looking for some luck? Want to win big? Gotta play big.
You are so money, you don't even know it.
Time to take a chance
Say that me and his man.
with long shots.
Got a little UMBC in action today. One of the only teams in history to pull a 16-1 upset.
One of 2 teams.
One of 2 teams, correct.
It's funny how that and everyone forgets the player that didn't play for Virginia that was a big deal was DeAndre Hunter. He's actually a good player in the NBA now, but Virginia fans badly want to forget that game. But UMBC, special moment. All right, we have a college basketball pick tonight. We have a WBC pick tonight. We have an NBA pick tonight. All right?
I like it.
So, first off, we're going to go to the college basketball pick. Actually, let's go to the NBA pick because this is time sensitive, this pick. All right? Suns, Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards has knee inflammation. He's out 1 to 2 weeks. This line is about to move. This just came down about 20 minutes ago. Hammer the Suns on the road, plus 3.5. Listen, I get that Grayson Allen's doubtful to play tonight, and Minnesota does still have a solid team, but they do not have a number 2 scorer. Julius Randle's going to slide into that number 1. The problem, though, is where's the rest of the offense coming from? Rudy Gobert? Naz Reid can pop off at times. Dante DiVincenzo's been good. But I just think Jalen Green has been meshing well with the Suns recently as the number 2 option behind, of course, Devin Booker. Devin Booker had 40 points the other night. Jalen Green had 21. Even though Grayson Allen, Haywood Highsmith, who they signed from the Heat on a buyout, has been very talented for them. Give me right now plus 3.5 the Phoenix Suns. Get that bet in before it changes. Because
it already moved.
It did? What is it now?
2.5.
2.5? Exactly. See, the betting public in San Diego is moving it.
Do you want to just go Phoenix straight up?
We can do that. We can do Phoenix straight up. But
you think they're going to win?
If you want to grab the points, might as well. They say always take the points, but I do think Phoenix wins straight up.
Okay.
All right. That's our NBA selection. Let's go to the WBC. There's no value in America. So America is minus 285. There's not really any betting value in that. But what we're going to do, we're going to hit the over 8.5 runs. I went with the under yesterday on Venezuela, Italy, over 8.5, going off at minus 133 on Kalshi. You can find that app somewhere else. A couple reasons why. I think the United States offense wakes up after the last game. Gunnar Henderson and Roman Anthony were basically the only 2 guys that got it going. I expect big performance from Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper. They've been a little too quiet in this series so far. And Eduardo Rodriguez, despite having a good season a couple years ago in Major League Baseball, has been touched up at times. And when you look at Venezuela, They played last night. Placencia is an excellent closer for them. Spent some time with the Cubs last year. But a lot of these guys are taxed. Machado, Zerpa, Placencia. They're not going to have Avila or Sanchez. Two of their best closers might be unavailable tonight. The U.S. coming off some rest. I think this is a high-scoring game. The U.S. offense is going to get going. And with Acuna, Salvador Perez, Mikael Garcia from the Royals playing really good for Venezuela, I think this is a much higher-scoring game than we've seen recently in this tournament. Give me over 8.5. I think too much of an under correction on the betting market. Over 8.5 in that one. All right, let's head to college basketball. Feels good to be betting some March Madness, some first four action. We're going to stay away from UMBC Howard. We're going to go to the 11 seed tonight. Texas, NC State. NC State is a 1.5-point favorite in this game. Very surprised. Now, NC State was a team that had kind of high aspirations about halfway through the season. They were looking to be maybe a 5, a 6, a 7 seed. They completely fell off the map. They really kind of fumbled. 2 losses down the stretch to Virginia, got smacked by Duke, smacked by North Carolina, lost to Stanford. This is not a team going in the right direction. Texas, open as the favorite. They have swung to the underdog. Give us the Texas Longhorns plus 1.5. This Texas team, Swain leads them in points per game, rebounds per game, and assists per game. But one of the reasons why I really like them, they are plus 7.4 in rebound differential. They're an excellent rebounding team. NC State is not a very good rebounding team. They're a -2 rebounding differential. Cleaning up on the glass. You're going to see some jitters early, considering this is the first March Madness game for all these guys usually. Give me Texas plus 1.5. I think they get the win. They're just a better team. NC State has not been going in the right direction the last couple weeks. Texas, money line or plus 1.5. They're going to dominate on the glass and get a win. And I believe they'll be taking on BYU on Friday night.
I like it a lot. When do you fill out your bracket, Sammy? Is it after tomorrow's games? I think that's what I'm doing mine.
So I always do a right when it happens, a just kind of don't think bracket.
Right when it came out?
Just select it.
That's already in?
Yes, but I'm going to revise.
Okay.
I always kind of look back. I just do right off the jump bracket picks, and then I'm making some changes over the next couple of days.
I like it. You put it in pencil, not in ink. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, you gotta like overthink it a little bit.
I haven't even started thinking about the bracket. I will start thinking about it after the Miami of Ohio game tomorrow. I will get my brackets input and submitted before tomorrow I go to bed. So that's where we're at. All right, coming up in hour number 2, Coach Quintera is going to be joining the show. We got a pair of tickets for you to go see Neo. And I have a burning question. Something that nobody wants to do, but we all have to do it every once in a while, every few years. And I need some tips. I need some help from the text line and from the YouTube chat as well. You'll hear what that is coming up next. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by Valley View Casino and Hotel. NCAA men's basketball March Madness gets going today at 3:40. Our coverage gets going at 3:30. You'll hear all the games throughout our station in the coming weeks. In San Diego Sports 760 at 3:30. Coverage begins 3:40. UMBC Howard. UMBC is a slight favorite with 1.5, and Texas and NC State get going at 6:15. NC State is a 1.5 point favorite, despite Texas opening as the favorite early. World Baseball Classic, 5 o'clock, Venezuela in the U.S. The U.S. is currently a -285 favorite to win the whole thing. Be the 3C's MVP this month at Valley View Casino and Hotel. On March 27th, one lucky winner will score cash, and more cash, or a spin for $100,000 during the 3C's giveaway, only at San Diego's favorite casino.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
Not like other guys.
Sound off like you got a pair.
The WBC final is tonight in the shadow of South Beach. Padres may hold the key for the U.S. The madness begins tonight with 2 play-in games. You can hear them right here on San Diego Sports 760 starting at 3:30. And the Lakers take down the Rockets.
Reeves alley-oop to LeBron. Spectacular alley-oop.
We react to the game. Plus, Sandy's back for more long shots.
Lakers +1.5 on the road. They're giving us a point, which is crazy to me. Lakers are better than Houston. Atlanta Hawks doing it for Magic City. Plus, they have a lot more length on the wings than Orlando does.
Bravo.
-3.5.
There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with you at all.
We like the under on Venezuela, Italy.
It's perfect.
Gets the rest worked out. Now, live from the San Diego Sports 760 studios, we enter the Fletch Zone.
Bang. Just submitted my first bracket over the course of that commercial break. We are in it to win
you
it.
just did. Oh, that's what you were asking me for picks.
Just in it to win it is what we got going on. UCLA is making a deep run in that bracket. That's all I'm saying. That was a free bracket, so we'll see. I'll put a little more time and effort.
Donovan Dent, and
some other ones.
Bilodeau.
Donovan Dent's playing better basketball than any point guard in the country.
I'm not ripping him. I'm saying the problem, though, is Bilodeau and Donovan Dent healthy, because if they're not healthy, there's question marks of whether they're going to play this weekend.
I'm not saying it's a Final Four run for UCLA. I'm saying
but they're beating UConn is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying they might be getting past UConn.
Are they going to beat Michigan State?
You know what? I might have. I don't remember what I put actually for that. I think I had Michigan State advancing.
So, wow, Sweet 16 run.
Yeah, Sweet 16 run for UCLA. That's all I'm promising for you. But I do like UCLA heading into this tournament. I did have them beating Michigan State in this one, actually.
Really? You have an Elite 8 run for Mick Cronin and the Bruins.
Yeah,
who are they playing?
St. John's. This is my wacky bracket.
You have a 5 seed beating, as I assume St. John's winning?
St. John's is winning that game. St. John's is going to the championship game, baby, in this bracket. This is the wacky bracket. This is the just have fun bracket.
See, St. John's is unbelievable.
It's free, and everybody does this bracket. It's the one to win like $1 billion. So you might as well go a little crazy with it, because it's going to be crazy if you want to win $1 million.
Rick, that bracket is insane. I mean, you think about what John Shire has to go through to try to win a national championship game for Duke. You have Bill Self, you have Rick Pitino, Tom Izzo.
And Duke has to get past
Hurley.
Ohio State in their second game.
TCU is good too.
It's going to be miserable. I also had Arizona dropping out to Wisconsin. Nick Boyd taking care of business. We'll see.
So you're really a Mountain West guy. You got Donovan Dent with New Mexico.
The former Mountain West boys. Yeah.
The former Mountain West
stars. Graham Ike is about to go off. You don't even know for Gonzaga. All right. It's San Diego Sports 760. Hour number 2 underway. Neo tickets coming up very, very soon. My name is Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long. If it's your first time trying us out, hang out for a while. Subscribe on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app. Add us to your presets. Yes, Sammy.
Jamar on YouTube is wondering about some listener bracket pools.
I'll leave Sammy in charge of that. If you want to get one going, I'm happy to submit a bracket.
We might. That might be fun. Maybe we'll put a little link out tomorrow.
Maybe we will. That'd be fun. I'd be down with that.
We'll cook something up with that. I like that.
Get to work, Sammy. That's all on you, dude. I'm running 2 brackets. I got to go to freaking Arizona for another one.
Running a bracket is not like running a fantasy football league. You just start it and send out links.
But the one in Arizona, we got the wall of the bracket that we have to draw out, and everyone's adding on to it. It's a little bit of chaos coming up with my friend group, but will be fun. All right. Hour number 2. Coach Quintero is going to be joining us in just a little bit. Can't wait to talk some Padres with the coach, talk some NCAA tournament with the coach as well. I did want to start here. Team USA and the pressure they're facing tonight, because man, oh man, that Italy game still is reigning true for a lot of us thinking about what happened. Now, Italy has gone on to prove that they're a pretty damn good baseball team. And congratulations to Italy for making it as far as they did. Venezuela had to fight back big time against them last night. But Team USA tonight, when you do have guys like Aaron Judge saying, yeah, the World Baseball Classic is as good as atmosphere I've ever played in, as good or if not better than a World Series. Well, if you're saying stuff like that, it's going to make me want to put a little bit more pressure on you. So Team USA tonight, the pressure they're facing, Sammy, what level would you put it at?
It's a massive amount of pressure. I mean, you have all the Team USA hockey players pulled up to this game. They've already arrived down there. And the sell, I mean, Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, Manny Machado, there has been a sell by these stars to try to make the WBC into an event like the World Cup, like the Olympics, where it's must-watch TV every 3 years. So, I mean, you're locked in on the couch. And if they lose this game, I think you're sitting there going, wait, so you lost to Japan last time. You get through the Dominican Republic, who you've looked at outside of Japan was your toughest competition. And then you lose to Venezuela. There's massive pressure on them tonight. Venezuela is not playing with much pressure because, I mean, look at this lineup: Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt Jr., Gunnar Henderson. I mean, this is unbelievable. The only weakness I would say is that you don't have Skubal tonight. If you had Skubal and maybe Skeens, even after a couple of days rest, throwing an inning, I mean, this thing would be over. But the fact that you aren't throwing out a Mets pitching prospect, Noel McLean, a guy who's only pitched a little bit in the majors, there is some concern there. And Venezuela does have some massive hitters to make you pay with Garcia and Acuna. But I mean, this is all the pressure's on the U.S. I mean, the U.S. has to win this game. It's embarrassing if the U.S. loses to Japan and then loses to Venezuela as almost 3-1 favorites.
Well, think about who's not in it anymore. The Dominican Republic is no longer here. The Team Japan is no longer here. Like, the biggest favorites outside of Team USA are no longer even in the tournament. So for Team USA tonight, this is the tournament you were supposed to win on the outset. And I think if most people would have figured out that it was going to be Team Venezuela, who is great, man, they got some ballers on their team. If most people would have thought that it was going to be USA versus Venezuela in the final, even though Venezuela will have the vibes advantage tonight, Team USA needs to win this game. And I don't think that Aaron Judge and Tariq Skubal and everybody else on Team USA outside of like Bobby Witt, who's been a human highlight reel, have done themselves any favors so far in the press with how they've handled Team USA so far. All right, before we get to the big three here of our number two, Coach Quintero coming up in a little bit. I do have a question to ask. I need some advice. Today's one of those days that everyone has to face once or twice every couple of years. I have to go to the stupid DMV today.
Don't insult our DMV workers.
No, I'm fine doing that because it's the worst place in the world. Any advice? Like, I know that there's a way to sign in and like get in line before you go. Does that actually work? Has anyone had success with that?
I don't think you can do that. I thought you had to go get a ticket in person.
This is apparently new. You can actually check in online. I haven't done it yet. I haven't been to the DMV in a few years.
Okay, well, maybe text us 70470, start your message with team. Maybe there's something new. I didn't think you could check in online. Last time I went, I had to go get a number and I just left because it was hours on end. Plus, I was sitting there waiting.
For my East County folks, is there a better or worse DMV to go to? Because I know it often depends on the line and the place.
That's a North County one. See, everyone goes to Poway, which is a blank show.
So I live in La Mesa.
There's another one that no one goes to, which is a much better.
I live in La Mesa. I live pretty close to, if you think about where the In-N-Out is in Lemon Grove, I'm the opposite direction, more towards La Mesa.
Give your address out.
No, I'm not going to. But if there is a DMV within a 15 to 20 minute range of me that is a little bit easier, let me know. Because I really don't want to spend.
I can't believe you're going after our show because
I have to. I don't have any choice. My license is going to expire in a week.
I think are you even going to get it in? Because I think they cut off numbers at a certain point.
I don't know. This is a disaster.
I think this is more of a Saturday wake up at 6 a.m. job.
They're not open on Saturdays. It's during the week. And I don't have time during the day. I'm literally here, Sammy. I'm in studios until 2:00 every day.
Sounds like a you problem.
It is a me problem. I don't know what to do. But
I'm gonna be watching March Madness, and you have fun at the DMV.
I
March Madness live. Get on the phone. Get on the app.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know what else to do here. So help me out. If there's a good spot in East County to go to the DMV, let me know. I'm willing to drive like 30 minutes to not wait.
858 says make an appointment if you can.
I'm gonna try, man. There's a way for you to get in line online, but I don't even think that helps. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. Please do help me out here. YouTube chat, text line 70470. Start your message with team. Would love to hear from you. Sammy, let's get to the big three. Go ahead, smash.
Your lunch is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
Okay, 619. Yes, you can 100% go online and check in, and then you're given a time to come back, and you're basically at the front of the line. We're in East County, but I'm pretty sure it's only at specific DMVs. Once you check it online, they'll tell you which DMVs you can go to. Good
Shout
to
out
know.
to the 619.
Good to know. Jay Silves on YouTube trying to send me the get in line link. Here we go.
Dude,
This is what we're talking
I love
about.
our listeners so much.
This is what we need. And honestly, if we have someone right now who has an AirPod in who's working at the DMV, I don't mean any of the offensive things I said, but if you could get me in the front of the line, that'd be great. In fact, if I could just send you all my information and you just give me a new license, that'd be even better. Let's use this power for good, Sammy.
That would be the coolest place to get recognized, the DMV.
Yeah, sure. Where are we going?
All right, Jalen Waddle headed to the Denver Broncos today for 3 picks. Question is this though: what free agent wide receiver acquisition or acquisition by trade will have a bigger impact on their team? DJ Moore and Josh Allen, or Jalen Waddle with Bo Nix?
That's a great question. I honestly, I do think it's about even. I'm not trying to cop out of this question, but I think, all right, the DJ Moore thing. I think DJ Moore is a lesser wide receiver than Jalen Waddle. I don't think DJ Moore is as talented. He's got a couple more years experience, which helps him out. But DJ Moore is going to the better quarterback in Josh Allen, who's going to make DJ Moore a little bit better. Jalen Waddle, on the other hand, is there to make Bo Nix look a little bit better, because I don't think Bo Nix is one of the most talented quarterbacks. I think he's getting better, and I think he had some really impressive moments last year. But Bo Nix needs that extra help and that extra speed on the outside. DJ Moore is a really good route runner, and he's going to help Josh Allen out a lot, who just needs wide receivers. But you could have replaced DJ Moore with a lot of people, I think. Jalen Waddle is a bit of a unicorn with his speed and his deep ball catching ability. So I love both trades for both teams. I'm going to say the bigger impact is probably going to be Jalen Waddle, because it's having an impact to make your quarterback better, not just having someone for your quarterback to throw through.
Completely agree. I do think Waddle is the better receiver overall, but Josh Allen needed a legit deep threat, and DJ Moore brings that, because Josh Allen last year, I mean, his best receiver is Khalil Shakir, and that's not even a shot to Khalil Shakir, but Khalil Shakir is not a number 1 wide receiver on a Super Bowl winning team. That's just, he has not proven that. He needed someone to stretch the field. We know Josh Allen can burn people with his legs. You have an excellent running back with James Cook, but in a great tight end with Dalton Kincaid. But at some point, I mean, defenses, as evidenced by the Broncos in that playoff game, were just playing up on them. They were daring them to take shots downfield, because none of these receivers, whether it was Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, was on a consistent basis hurting people down the field. DJ Moore allows that, so I am going to go with DJ Moore, but I agree with you. I think Jalen Waddle is actually the better receiver and is bigger for the Broncos, but Bo Nix is less of that's more of a head of the chain. I mean, he's a very good deep ball thrower, but the Sean Payton in that offense did a very good job of introducing the running game, playing ahead of the sticks, getting Bo Nix out of the pocket, and making some big throws. So both of them will help their teams. I just think the Broncos gave up a lot for Jalen Waddle, and they do still have some holes, especially on defense after some of the losses they took. So I'm going to roll with DJ Moore and the Buffalo Bills. All right. Jerry Jones says Dallas could have made the playoffs.
What's up, Jerry?
Quote, if we played a lick of defense last year. Where do you have them in that division next year? And are the Cowboys a surefire playoff lock?
Look, I just don't think their division got that much better. I think the Eagles, we may have seen the best of the Eagles 2 years ago in the Super Bowl. Now, was last year a Super Bowl hangover for the Eagles, and can they bounce back this year? Yeah, I mean, the roster's not that much different, depending on what A.J. Brown does. So maybe the Eagles are back, but that's a pretty big maybe in my eyes. The Giants are still a couple years away, I think. I love their young core. I love the addition of John Harbaugh. But is that a next year thing, or is that the year after that? I'm going to lean more towards the year after that. So I think the Cowboys should be a playoff team this year, and Jerry's probably right. If the defense was a little bit better rostered, Jerry, then you could have made a playoff run last year. But the defense didn't have the roster, which Jerry's in charge of, to make that push. So I think there needs to be a little bit of a look in the mirror here, and maybe instead of calling out the players who are working their asses off on your team, look at the roster, Jerry, and understand your defense just needs better players.
Right, we've been on record. I think we both feel the same way. Them trading away Micah Parsons in the long run, I think, is a really good deal for the Cowboys. But when Jerry says stuff like this, I mean, you don't trade away Micah Parsons to be better that year. You trade away Micah Parsons to be better this year. And a couple of years from now, when you have a stockpile of draft picks obviously, I think Jerry thought the team was not going to be very good. The offense comes out and lights the world on fire, and you just traded Micah Parsons, so they try to kind of slap some Band-Aids on Logan Wilson at linebacker. You get Quinnen Williams, who will be a good player for them in the future. But, yeah, Jerry Jones is the king of quotes and certainly doesn't always make himself look great. But I do think they are a playoff team this year. The Eagles, I don't know. The Eagles might be that team that kind of falls off a cliff, and I know they have a lot of talent, but Saquon's getting up there in age. We'll see what happens with the A.J. Brown situation. They just didn't really make any changes. They're running the same exact team back. I expect them having a big defense, but Washington is a flawed roster. Jaden Daniels very good, and we'll see if the Giants can make a big leap with Harbaugh. But I do think that the Cowboys will be back in the playoff picture for next year.
Definitely in the conversation. We'll see if they can actually get there. What's story number 3? We won't get into it here, but just a tease.
Does Darren Peterson, the projected number 1 overall pick out of Kansas, need a deep turning run to cement himself as the number 1 pick?
I love that question. We'll get into it on the other side. Get your thoughts in on the text line, 70470. Start your message with team. And man, I'm overwhelmed by how many people think they have the DMV figured out. Thank you for all these tips. I'm going to use some of them. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, it's Fletch for the Valley View Casino and Hotel. You got to get out there and check it out because they got something big coming up next week. Next Friday night, it's cash, and more cash, where you are going to be, if you're the lucky winner, be able to walk away with $35,000 in cash or spin to win $100,000. That's coming up on March 27th, next Friday. So you got to get on out to the Valley View Casino and Hotel. And when you're there, make sure you sign up for the free Players Club card, because right now, between now and the 27th, is your time to start stacking up entries for the cash, and more cash event. And when you sign up for the Players Club card, you're instantly going to get over $200 in free offers to use at San Diego's free casino, like $10 a more play, which is free slot play, $10 a match play, $20 to the Black and Blue Steakhouse, $10 to Paddys and Pints, which is home to the best burger I've ever eaten in my life. Get on out to the Valley View Casino and Hotel. March 27th is the cash, and more cash giveaway. But every single day, they got something awesome going on there. They got sports on all the TVs at the main stage bar and grill. Get out to the Valley View Casino and Hotel today up in Valley Center, California. It is an awesome time every time you get out there. Plus, wall-to-wall slot machines, over 2,000 slot machines in the Valley View Casino and Hotel. Smoking section, non-smoking section. If you don't like the smoke in the air, they got you covered at the Valley View Casino and Hotel. All guests 21 and over are invited to enjoy the casino, hotel, and restaurants. To learn more, visit valleyviewcasino.com. Man, I love our listeners. I've gotten DMs. I've gotten links. Gotten people texting me.
You got some links?
Some different ways to cheat the system at the DMV. Although all of them come with the caveat of you're still probably going to spend an hour and a half there. So I got a great afternoon coming up. Don't worry. Full phone battery charge, logged into my YouTube TV. We're going to be watching. Just
put a little action on the game.
Some March Madness action, some WBC. Hopefully I'm not there past 5 o'clock, although I doubt they want to stay open past 5.
Hey, you know what you can do? You can listen to the games on San Diego Sports 760.
Sure can. Free iHeartRadio app. Like that a lot. All right. It's Thursday, March 26th, aka my birthday eve. Our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards are coming back live on Fox. Watch as we honor the biggest stars from all genres of music that you love listening to all year long on the free iHeartRadio app. Hosted by Luda. Featuring Innovator Award recipient Miley Cyrus. Could she be the next Super Bowl halftime act? Maybe. Ooh. And Breakout Award recipient Alex Warren. Live performances from Lainey Wilson, TLC, Salt and Peppa, and more. If you think you're the biggest fan of one of those nominees and you want to see it live, record a video telling the world why you love your favorite nominee and tag iHeartRadio on TikTok. We're going to choose the best video, play it during the show, watch live on Fox Thursday, March 26th at 8 o'clock. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app. Think I nailed it. Fridge Watcher on YouTube saying, speaking of green, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
The Dolphins have $165 million in dead money. It's true. Between two, I saw this stat earlier today. It's between Tua. I think they even have some dead money with Tyreek Hill and then Jalen Waddle now. They are just screwed when it comes to the cap, but it's a rebuild year.
Yeah, I got to give the Dolphins some credit in that.
88 million of that, I think, is all with Tua.
It wasn't working. So even though, I mean, it is crazy the amount of dead money they're paying, but you got to give them some credit in the regard of it's not working. Why just keep starting him when it's clearly not working? Take the dead money, take the hit, realize that you messed up giving him that kind of contract and try to see if Malik Willis is something, because Malik Willis is on a much more affordable deal than a lot of people thought they were going to give him before free agency.
858, very funny. Pull up to any DMV at 425 and you're guaranteed out of there before 5 p.m.
Hey,
because they got to get out of there too. I like all the tips. Keep those coming in. Coach Quintero is going to be joining us coming up in about 5 minutes, but really quickly here, Peterson, the star for Kansas. Who do they got in the first round? Cal Baptist?
Cal Baptist.
Does Peterson need to have an incredible March Madness run in order to lock himself in as the number 1 overall pick? Here's the problem for him. He is undoubtedly, in my opinion, the best player in college basketball. The most talented, the best scorer. Doesn't love defense, but we can fix that once he gets to the league. Probably needs to put on 20 pounds, but we can fix that once he gets to the league. His problem is going to be availability. And I do think teams have taken special notice at how many sick games he's had this year, about pulling himself out of games that he's had this year. I know the NBA does seem like the one league where you can get away with a lot of personality flaws, but man, he's had some personality flaws this year in college. And I do think the scouting department will take special note of that. That's the only thing that can hurt him, because the basketball is the basketball. And this dude is a damn talented, damn athletic, damn skilled player who should be the number 1 overall pick. But I think he's hurt himself this year.
Right. I don't think Kansas has to get to the Final Four. They're obviously in a brutal bracket. Duke, St. John's will be a pick'em game. They'd likely see Duke in the Sweet 16, and they would be dogs in that game. But there has been so much said about Darren Peterson for a number 1 overall pick. And I agree with you. I think despite Boozer being excellent, DeBonsta, there's some question. Could he out of BYU be the number 1 pick? Darius Acuff has been fantastic out of Arkansas. All these guys are poised for deep tournament runs, especially Boozer with with Duke. I think there's some limitations to Boozer's offensive game. I think Peterson and Acuff actually could excel.
I think there's some limitations to Duke.
I think exactly.
Duke's
I think
not very deep. That's what nobody's talking about.
I think Peterson, Acuff, and DeBonsta could actually be better pros, even though Boozer's the number 1 seed this year. But yeah, Peterson, there's been a lot made that he's lazy, doesn't care. I mean, he could shut all that up by winning a couple rounds. And if he were to beat St. John's or Duke, it's not even a question. He's the number 1 overall pick. But if he goes home this weekend, I think then if DeBonsta or one of these guys make a run, there's a real question at the top of the draft in June.
If we were drafting our weekly guest, I might draft Coach Quintero number 1 overall. Don't tell Steve Hartman or Kevin Acee. But I do love the coach. And the coach is coming up next. We'll talk some pods, talk some NCAA tournament, talk some NFL with Coach Quintero on the other side. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by True Green. We got coverage on San Diego Sports 760 of March Madness throughout the entire tournament. Gets going today. Coverage at 3:30. UMBC and Howard. UMBC is currently a 1.5 point favorite in that one. And at 6:15, Texas, NC State. NC State is a 1.5 point favorite in that one as well. Venezuela, United States going for the World Baseball Classic Championship. The U.S. is currently minus 285 on the money line to bring it home. True Green, don't waste another weekend doing your lawn care yourself. Partner with the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour and get a golf course quality lawn the easy way. Sign up at truegreen.com, then sit back and relax.
San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John Schaefer will be taking over then as we continue on here. And then at 3:30, we switch over to the NCAA tournament. First game up, UMBC versus Howard, followed by Texas versus NC State. San Diego Sports 760 is your home for the NCAA tournament here in San Diego. All right, we have them every week, and we are going to be kicked off the air on Thursday and Friday this week because of the NCAA tournament. So we welcome him on a Tuesday. Coach Quintera. Coach, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to a lot of good sports. I'm actually going up the coast here pretty soon. I'm going to watch my granddaughter. She plays volleyball, beach volleyball for Torrey Pines. I'm going to go to that and get home and watch the WBC and catch a little bit. You guys are going to help me out because you guys are carrying the play-in games tonight. So that's really cool. Congratulations to 760 on doing that. You guys getting a couple of days off to sit back, enjoy, watch some great basketball, and a lot to talk about as sports talk show host here in Southern California. That's for sure.
Yeah, Coach, I've always worked mornings in my radio career. This is actually the first time I've ever had a show after noon. And so we never got preempted when I was doing the morning show here on 760 because games would start at 9 and we'd be done. So this will be the first year in, I think, 8 years that I get to sit back and just fully watch and not work for the first 2 days of March Madness. I am so unbelievably excited for it, Coach. But we'll leave that on the back burner for right now because, Coach, we got some little disturbing news about Joe Musgrove. He's going to start the season on the IL, most likely. Now, all the articles you read are like, oh, this has been forecasted for weeks. I felt a little blindsided by it. I don't know if that's just me not paying close enough attention. But Joe Musgrove starting on the IL, how does that make you feel about the Padres?
Well, first of all, I don't necessarily think it was planned. I do think Joe is healthy. I think he will be back throwing before too long. I think, I go back and I watched very closely that March 4th game, and I saw a lot of real positive things in that game with Joe. Velocity was good. I didn't expect his command to be great, and it wasn't in that first inning. They ended up taking him out, and they brought him back in, and I thought he threw the ball pretty well. He looked like he was healthy. I think probably, he'd been throwing, in simulated games, he'd been throwing bullpens, and a lot of times you don't have that adrenaline going, and you're throwing at 70 and 80%. And I think that game there, he's pretty excited, man. He hadn't pitched since October of 2024. Maybe tried to do a little bit too much in that game, not intentionally. He did throw one bullpen since that, but I'm being told right now that he is healthy. It's not, something that's going to keep him out for an extended period of time now. That's all subject to change, but I feel pretty good about the information I've gotten. I'm not surprised he's starting the year on the IL. I think when he didn't pitch till March 4th, it was going to be hard to, get him revved up that quickly. And of course, Fletch, they do a different way of getting guys ready now than they did years ago. I mean, it used to be in the first spring training game, a starter to go out and throw 3 innings. Now they throw 1 and they get them out of there and they kind of slow play these guys. And I certainly understand that with the money that these guys are making, but you still got to pitch enough to be ready. And, I think handling Joe with kid gloves, I have no problem with it. Like I said, the people I'm talking to, they said he's healthy. They just don't want him to go too fast. And, Joe's one of those players. Not all of them are like that, but Joe's one of those guys. He is as much as he's trying to, do things the right way, which he is. you got to protect him from himself because he's a San Diego kid. He wants to do well. He wants to bounce back. He wants to lead this team to a World Series championship. And you got to kind of protect him from himself a little bit. So I'm not overly concerned right now. Now, if we're sitting here in the middle of May and he hadn't pitched, I'm starting to get real worried.
Coach, in the WBC, obviously the other night, great game, U.S. and Dominican Republic. Tatis and Machado didn't really come through in that game. I think Tatis gets a little bit of a pass in the playoff narrative because he has had some big postseason performances before. But Machado, it feels like it's certainly becoming a thing of not performing in the biggest moments. Do you think that was a microcosm of that the other night? And is this becoming a thing, or are we reading too much into it?
Well, I mean, he had one hit and he got robbed of a third or a second hit by an unbelievable play by Bobby Witt Jr. I mean, for a lot of people in San Diego that don't watch the American League and get a chance to see Bobby Witt Jr., I was fortunate enough, Sammy, to see him play at the area code games when he was a sophomore in high school. And his junior year, he played at the area code games up at Blair Field. And this kid's, a real gem. There's no question about it. He's still so young. But getting back to Manny's a 209 career postseason playoff hitter. It is what it is. When you're right around 200 at bats, that's who you are in the playoffs. And he's had a good playoff. I think was in 2022. I think he was pretty good, but he hadn't been good the last couple of years. Fernando the other night, David Bednar in a critical situation struck him out on 3 pitches, and he came back to the well 3 straight times on those pitches down in the zone and was able to get Fernando. And Fernando had a pretty good overall series. Manny, I think, I don't know what his numbers ended up. I know he had a couple of pretty good games, but when the games were counting, and didn't do all that much, I don't think. So it is what it is. And again, these guys still aren't in midseason form. And Manny, historically, Sammy is a slow starter. You go back a few years ago, he got off to a really good start. Had an incredible year and was right in the running, I thought, for the MVP. But historically, he usually gets off to a slow start and then picks it up. And, he'll still end up hitting around 270. He'll hit between 25 and 30 and drive in close to 100 runs. You can kind of almost book that unless there was some type of injury. But postseason, he's been a different ball player, and it hadn't been good.
Coach Quintero joining us today here on San Diego Sports 760. Coach, you look at the Padres rotation, sans Joe Musgrove, at least to start, and I got 3. And that's all I got right now. I got Nick Pivetta, Michael King, Randy Vasquez, and then question marks. Is Walker Buehler the number 4? Where are you going with the rotation to start the year?
Well, were you sitting next to me about a half hour ago when I was sitting on my patio writing out the rotation, it sounds like? Yeah, that's what I've got right now. I got Walker Buehler after that performance yesterday. 5 innings, didn't give up any runs, and 7 strikeouts, couple of walks. I got him right now as the number 4 guy. German Marquez is throwing today. We'll see how he performs. His last time out, I think the opposing team was in a fist fight at the bat rack trying to get to the plate against him. He had just a miserable outing last time out. He's got to bounce back today. If he has another really, really bad outing today, it'll be interesting to see what the Padres are going to do, because remember, he is one of the guys that they signed to a major league contract.
Fangraphs, a site that projects win totals, has the Padres at 79 wins, taking a little bit of a step back. Do you think the roster is as good as last year, or worse or better? Or do you think it's more of a product of the NL West maybe just becoming a more competitive division?
Sammy, that's a great question. I think the Giants are going to be a real pain. Arizona, I'm kind of anxious to see how they're going to be. They've had some injuries. Obviously, Corbin Carroll's back now. We'll see if he's at full strength opening day. Probably from that hamate bone, it's going to take him a while to feel good. Their pitching staff's in flux. Their bullpen's been very inconsistent the last few years. But you know what? I think the Padres' everyday lineup's better. I mean, it's far better than it was a year ago. I think the guys they've got that can come off the bench are better. I think the catching situation is better, well-rounded offensively, defensively. And Campusano's done good. He had a double yesterday, but he hadn't hit all that well so far. But I'm not worried about him hitting. I'm worried about him catching. And I think right now, from what I've seen, what I've heard, and what Craig Stammen has talked about, they're very happy with the progress he's made. So, and the outfield's going to be good. I mean, I think the Padres are going to probably have to let some of these good veterans that have come to camp, they're not going to be able to keep all these guys. So I think they're going to be much better starting the year as far as position players. Starting rotation, they may be looking to make a deal right now. As far as the bullpen, I think the bullpen is going to be outstanding. I think we got a lot of good arms, and not all those arms are going to start at the big league level. El Paso's going to have a couple of pretty good guys coming out of their bullpen. And the other thing I think, guys, we have to look at, not who you start with, but who you finish with. Now, if this sale goes through, and I don't know, they talked about opening day. That's not going to happen. I never thought that was really in the plan. But if they get something done, whether it's in April or May or June before the trading deadline, who knows? The new owners may want to come in and make a splash and add to this payroll down the stretch.
Well, that would be great to see in open arms. I think there's also a scary situation with new owners potentially coming in of wanting to clear some roster at the trade deadline, which we don't need to talk about that right now. Coach Kucera, it's always a weird time of year right now because you're getting ready for the Padres season and you're getting ready to have plans every night of the week for a long time when you're covering a team. But so this is the time of year where you get stuff done, right? And so I'm heading to the DMV later on today to get some stuff done. Any ideas on our tips to make the DMV trip a little bit better?
Well, I would tell you, do you have an appointment, first of all?
Not yet. I need to try to get one.
Okay.
Said not yet in an hour.
Here's what I would suggest. Okay. I wouldn't go today, Fletch. I would go Thursday on your day off, and I'd be there. I don't know which one you're going to go to, but get there at 7:00. Make sure you got everything you need. I don't know. You need to get your real ID. What are you doing?
That's exactly right. My license expires next week.
Okay. Well, make sure that you've got everything that they have said you need. If not, you're going to turn around and go back home and be very frustrated. But when my wife and I last summer went and got our real ID, we got there at 7:00. They opened at 7:30. We were out of there by 8:00. But if you go at this time of day, you may be sitting there waiting for number 99 to be called.
You know what? I like Coach's plan. I'm going to push this problem off. That's what I'm going to do. I got all week to deal with this. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate your time. And thank you for allowing me to be lazy the rest of the day and just watch sports. That's all I want to do anyways. Coach Kucera.
Yeah, but hey, make sure you get there at 7:00. Get there early.
7:00. You got it. I will. I'll send you a picture on Thursday morning at 7:00 when I'm there. Coach Kucera joining us on San Diego Sports 760. We always appreciate your time, Coach, and your wisdom. Thank you so much.
Hey, boys, enjoy all the great sporting events and looking forward to opening day a week from Thursday. Going to be fun.
A week from Thursday. We're almost there. The marathon begins. There he goes. Coach Kucera joining us like he does every single week here on San Diego Sports 760. We got comments coming in asking for the new owners to sell the big three of the Padres. We'll see if that's the case. I don't think that will be the case, but it is San Diego Sports 760. And right now, we've been teasing it all show long. Your opportunity to go see Neo out at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater on August 18th. For tickets and info, you can go to Ticketmaster.com. But if you would like to win a pair of tickets, just give us a call. 877-767-4760. Sammy's on the phone still, so I'm going to say caller number 6. Caller number 6, you're going to see Neo out at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater on August 18th. Call right now, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy along with you for a final time here today. Let me make sure there's nothing I haven't read yet. We're all good. Just listen to San Diego Sports 760 for all the NCAA tournament action coming your way over the next month. Really, we got all the action of the NCAA tournament coming up, including the first 4 games. You'll hear them starting today at 3:30, tomorrow 3:30 as well, and then Thursday and Friday from 9 a.m. till the games wrap up. We will stick with Westwood 1 the entire day. Cannot wait for the 2 best days in sports, Thursday and Friday, followed by an excellent Saturday and Sunday as well. Hey, probably tons of people heading out to Viejas Arena for the first couple of rounds of the NCAA tournament. I know, Sammy, your boys, the Kansas Jayhawks, will be there. Are you going to make an appearance?
I am trying to look for tickets.
Okay. If anyone has extra tickets, you know who to call. Sammy Long. The number is 877-767-4760.
Call in, baby.
Jay Silv's bringing something up on YouTube that I kind of jokingly said to Coach, but is absolutely a real possibility. Look, we know the Padres are being sold. We know that 4 of the potential bids were in Peoria as early as last week. So things are happening. Bids have hit the table. Owners are being vetted. Finances are getting in line. We just don't know who the name is going to be. But this from our buddy Jay Silv says the potential for new ownership group to drop some of the player-friendly contracts is ever present, no matter how upset the fans get. That's absolutely a real possibility. You are literally taking a step into the great unknown with whoever buys this team. What if it is, say, Jose Feliciano buys the team, and he starts looking up and down and says, what the hell was Peter Seidler doing with this Xander Bogaerts contract? This is not a good team contract. What the hell was he doing with this Manny Machado contract? This is not a team-friendly contract. And the possibility is always there that either they package them up with a prospect or they just release them and let them off into the wild.
Well, that's the ideal situation.
It could happen.
A super rich owner, because these 2 contracts are really hamstringing the Padres, because Bogaerts has not given big-time production ever since he's been a Padre. And we were talking about it earlier. Manny Machado, even though everyone loves him in the city, has not been a good postseason player. I'm sorry.
Especially once the salary cap comes around. If it does come around, you want that bigger percentage kept up by 2 guys who aren't productive?
You wonder now. It sucks because the Padres farm system is completely depleted. They currently do not have a player in the top 100. We'll see if Ethan Salas can work his way back in there. But, I mean, you wonder if one of these guys package a prospect with Manny Machado and try to get them to eat some of the money, some of these teams, because Manny Machado would have value on a team like the Yankees, the Mets, a team that is, you feel like maybe one hitter away, that you feel like you could bury him in the lineup a little bit and would take some of the pressure off. But you do wonder if, whoever's coming in obviously has a vision for the team. Maybe those 2 aren't a part of it in the foreseeable future.
Now, they all have no trade clauses, so they would have to approve anything. They all have contracts with guaranteed money, and if you were to release them, that'd be taking on an enormous hit immediately. But in the era that's coming up, can you really justify that much of your salary cap being dedicated amongst aging at 1 point stars? And I don't know that the answer is yes.
Miami Dolphins.
We'll see. 913 Fletch, won't you be on the morning show at 7 a.m. on Thursday? I'm actually taking a couple days off of KGB on Thursday and Friday this week. Heading out to Arizona to watch the first couple rounds of the NCAA tournament, taking some spring training as well. So can't wait for that. But no, I'm taking a couple days off of KGB for the end of the week this week.
Full March Madness preview tomorrow.
Hell yes, brother. As well as some betting trends that you are going to need to hear on the show tomorrow with some more Neo tickets as well. John Schaefer has a couple of those to give away in the next 4 hours as well. It's San Diego Sports 760. We'll see you tomorrow. Fletch, Sammy, out.